Hello guys, happy Monday. All right, so I decided to do something a little different. It's not that different, but it's kind of different. We're gonna do a little bit less training and a little bit more of what I believe is not talked about enough. And so if you guys have any questions, like actual like enrollment questions, things like that, write it down, save it for the end because it's so distracting. But if you are here, drop a 1 in the comments of this because I want to know you guys are actually here and you're not just logged on and to pretend like you're here. I know that sounds funny, but it's so true. So I have found that, so I was on a call last night, and this is kind of where this stemmed from. I was on a call last night for somebody else. She asked me kind of last minute, another ambassador, and there's something that she said on there. She said, you're always like just going, you're always motivated. If something comes out, you're going for it. If, you know, you always have people promoting, you're always running for it, things like that. She's like, how do you stay motivated? Or how do you stay motivated when kids are on summer, things like that. And I'm like, I don't correlate the things going on in my life to my goals in this business, if that makes sense. Like I work based upon what I want. But then I was really thinking about it today and I was like, yeah, but how do you constantly stay motivated? Because I'm not the only one. On this team, we have so many people, so many of the leaders that are doing that. And I think what it truly is that you find what this really does for people's lives, and it really, really changes people's lives. And once you find that, you can't stop. You can't, because it becomes something where you feel like if I stop, it's my fault if somebody's life doesn't change. If I slow down and I'm not, you know, doing my goals as a leader and things like that and running with these girls, and they're not going to hit their goals and they're not going to hit their life. If I don't post one day, I might have that girl on there that was, you know, she couldn't even pay her bills or feed her kids. So it becomes more of, I feel like I have to do this business now, and I cannot stop and I cannot slow down because there are people's lives that need to be changed. And once you know that and understand that, of course, I set my goals all the time, of course, you guys, and I'm loud about them because I have to lead by example for you guys. But at the end of the day, 90% of my brain time is focused on my distributors and focus on helping them and promoting with them. So what I decided to do today, because I think we have a lot of leaders on this team that you guys don't know, whether you're new or whether you weren't around when they were, you know, doing their triple diamond or presidential diamond or ambassador diamond run. And so I picked some new diamonds, some not new diamonds, some triples, some presidentials, things like that, to share their story and what, you know, just give 5 minutes of what this business has really, really done for their lives. Because I just want to say this one last thing before we start. So for example, if I gave Barbara, I'll just use Barbara because I see her name. If I give Barbara $10,000 right now, even let's just say I gave her $100,000 right now, okay? What would that do? It would change her life for a minute, but she wouldn't have the value of working this business and internally changing, because truthfully, that's what this business has done for me. I'm a completely different person, and we are meant to find, we're meant to grow. Like that's what we're here for. We're created to grow, to change, to adapt, to develop. And that's what keeps us like happy, you know? Have you ever felt like super lazy and then all of a sudden you feel depressed and then it's like a downward spiral? This business, it changes people's lives from the inside out. And so anyways, I'm going to share some of you guys' stories, and they're going to be awesome because some of these people, it has been a complete transformation, and I want you guys to know who they are. So we're going to go ahead and start with Savannah. Let me unmute you. She's got her special light.
Hey, right now I'm like, I'm a hot mess. I might want to put the light on. makes everyone look a little bit better. Hey, hi guys. Ooh, that's super close too. We don't want that. Sorry, I have been like in the pool all day, just been crazy. Hi. Okay, so my heart was going a little bit just because Christy was pulling at my heartstrings, and so you know, what she was saying was such the truth. And, you know, a lot of you guys don't know my story. And so I'll just kind of take you back 4 years. I can't believe it's been 4 years. But 4 years ago, well, I guess it'd probably be like 4.5 years ago, I ran into Christy online and I just saw the life she was living. And I was like, is that even possible? I just like any potential, just like you guys were when you first started. I wanted it, but I just didn't know how, you know? And so little by little, I just kept watching. And one day it just clicked and I'm like, I'm ready. So I jumped in and I wasn't the fastest at first. I just wanted that $500. Like I was complacent at that. And you know, it took me about 5 months to go Ruby. And from there, I just kind of sat around and the opportunity to go to conference came up. And to be 100% honest, I just kind of went because I wanted a vacation. Like I wanted a girls trip and I hadn't left the state of Nevada since my first son was born. So that had been like about 3 years. And so I was just ready. I needed a break and I had no idea what I was getting into. All I knew was the love that I felt when I was around Christy. And that might sound so weird, but you guys, the very first time I met Christy, I was at a training and I pulled up in my clankety clanky van. It was like a 1990 Honda Odyssey. I would hold my key switch in the van. And I remember I pulled up and made a U-turn and my tire just blew. I'm like, really? Like my first It Works training, I finally was able to go. And just everything just kept getting in the way to go. Like everything just kept getting in the way to get there. And then I finally got there and then this happened. And literally, you guys, I walked in and I still get emotional because I walked in and instead of like feeling more anxious, Aaron, Christy's husband, and Aaron like just took me under their wing. He drove to like 4 AutoZones in Vegas trying to find the part I needed to get my car fixed. And it was just like the craziest amount of love in that moment of stress. And I was like, okay, well, this isn't all about the money. Like, this is a lot more. And this chick's really awesome. And so is her family. And I just like instantly knew that I was in the right place at the right time. And since then, my wife for the business has always moved, you know, a little bit at a time. And I went to conference and I just remember sitting in that room, guys, and it's so crazy. Every time I tell my story, I cry. But I'm sitting in that room, like, just as a broken person. Like, I've been through crap in my life. Like, I'm vulnerable to a point. But I just was sitting there broken and just feeling whole. Like, I just felt like everyone around me was pushing for the same things. And I felt like all of us were, like, at this level that I hadn't even felt with any friendships ever. Because I was just getting screwed over by people left and right. And, you know, like you just never found those right people that were in the right place at the right time. Like I just didn't even know why I was there. And it clicked and they said something. They're like, you know what? Like, what if you had to go diamond to get your family back? Like, what if that's the only way that you could get your family back? And you guys, at this time, I was working at a pharmaceutical research company, like 40 to 50 hours a week. And they kept promising me benefits and insurance. And you guys, they never gave me crap, right? For 2.5 years. I never got more than a 25-cent raise. And I was so freaking sick of them just getting my butt up at 5 in the morning, being at work, never seeing my kids in the morning, dropping them off at, you know, or picking them up at daycare at 5 o'clock at night, barely being able to just even function for dinner and throwing them into bed so I could have me time because I was so overwhelmed. Like that was our life. And I felt like I needed to get my kids back. Like I needed to get my family back. And so I left there, guys, as a Ruby. I went diamond in like 13 days. I went double the next 30 days. And then a year later, I went triple. So that was like just life-changing. And what did diamond do? Like, what did that do? I still remember my first diamond check. I was sitting in my office at my job and I opened up that check. It was like $2,800, you guys. I made more, like after, like we don't get taxed with It Works yet, but I made more on those checks. And then I did it my full-time job, like working my butt off, you know? And those Ruby checks I was making were like $300, $400, $500. Like they weren't huge. But like I constantly just focused on what it was bringing to me that wasn't just money items, and then what I was working for, you know? And then I went diamond, claimed that 20,000 bonus, went double, claimed 30. My husband's a double. So we've just claimed like diamond, bonuses, $120,000 in bonuses. And, you know, I just feel like life just kind of keeps moving up on an elevator, just like kind of through these phases. And, you know, you just kind of start dreaming bigger and bigger and bigger. And something that's a little bit vulnerable about me, you know, like I said, I've been through a lot of stuff, and honestly, because of this business, I've been able to get some counseling that I needed to focus on me, to heal myself. And I've been able to work through some of those things that have held me back my whole life. And it's only been money that's held me back, like from getting help. And it's nothing like crazy serious, like I'm going to die things, but it's just those little things that I've never been able to fix. And because of this business, like an $80 session with someone to help get me through some issues is amazing. Like that is worth it. Like take my money, you know? And you know, I'm cigarette free. My husband's cigarette free. I've lost 100 pounds and then lost another 60 pounds. Like it's just been miracle after miracle after miracle that God has blessed me with because of this business, because Christy, because of just everybody. So, I don't know why I'm extra cryy tonight, but that's me.
Maybe you're pregnant like the rest of us.
No. Nope.
Oh my God. I'm over here like, I'm not crying. I don't cry. No one's ever seen me cry in like the history of all people. Oh my gosh, Savannah, I just love you. I will be honest. I have a really amazing husband, honestly. So he makes me look better. But you're amazing. And I just love everything about you and your story. And you guys, like, you don't know this, but I want you to see this too, because I know sometimes we can get so scared about the no's and things like that. Savannah, she stood me up and ignored me multiple times. We were supposed to get together multiple times. Multiple times she didn't show up. I didn't show up either because I confirmed, but she didn't show up. And then she ignored me. And it was, I don't know how long it was. Was it maybe like a 6-month period between when I first reached out to her to when she actually started? Like, you guys just don't know. You just don't know who that person's going to be. And like, you just don't know. Like she took 6 months to go Ruby. Like you guys might have this person that in 6 months to a year from now, it's their whole life will be changed forever. And we were just talking about this a couple days ago. Like, she's like, I can't believe like this is what's happening this year. She's like, what's going to happen next year? You know, like, and it just is so amazing. And it's so amazing when you find like your group, you know, like it's just what it is. Like you have to find those people that want it like you do. And then they find a few and then they find a few. And it's just like the best feeling in the entire freaking world. And you guys, honestly, I feel like you're a completely different person too. Like just how you guys said, like you guys are cigarette free, like things like that. Those things, you guys, like every single part of your life, if you dive into this business and give it 100%, will change. Like things you don't expect to change. But I just love you. You're amazing.
So real quick, I want to
going presidential.
Oh yeah, presidential. But just one quick thing, guys. Everybody, like when you meet team members and you know, open them with open arms and you're loving on them and you're like, you know, meeting newbies and making connections, just remember they're at day one. They're not where you are. Okay. And you have the power to inspire these women to make these changes that you're also making. Okay. Our business is what we do. We inspire people, right, to like change their life and make money. Well, these things that you want different, you can change too. And other people are going to change. And like, that's obviously just as good. Like the fact that I've helped other women quit smoking, like even just my girl, Tiffany, I'm going to shout her out. She left our retreat and for some reason she must have just like felt like she didn't want to smoke anymore because Monday morning she made a post about how she was cleansing her life and she was ready to give up cigarettes. And like, you guys, that was after 3 days with us and just feeling inspired and motivated and just, you know, supported in life and ready to make changes. So I love that.
I love that so much. Good job, Tiffany. Well, now that we all know, we're all going to be cheering you.
I know, I shouted her out. You better not be smoking on our retreat.
Well, and that's the thing, you guys, like you just don't know, like you are not, I know sometimes we can get so, this is why I wanted to talk about this, because sometimes we can get so wrapped up in our goals because you might need this so bad. I get it. You might need it so bad. And so when you look at this chart, you're like, I need to fill these boxes. I need to get this. But here's the deal. You're never going to grow your business unless you look at those people like they are people. Yes, you need to know I have 5 boxes to fill. Okay, I'm going to go get 5 distributors. But you need to see those 5 people as people. You need to see those 5 people as, this girl could be my next Savannah. I am not her boss. I am her inspiration. I want to inspire her to want to work this business. I do not want to boss her around. And that's, people always ask, how do you become a good leader? I'm like, just lead by example and inspire them and love on them. Like, be their friend. And some people will and some people won't. And I treat everybody the same. Every single newbie gets me the same. But some will do it and some won't. And that's not up to me. But Savannah, you're amazing. If you have anything else to add, just let me know. So
I'm good. Thanks, girl, for the opportunity.
You're awesome.
Presidential! Woo!
Yeah, she's going presidential this month. Holla.
Hey, hey, hey.
So excited for you. You deserve it. Okay.
Thanks, girly.
So let's go on to Katie. Katie, where are y'all? Let me see a face. It's, you guys, there's like pages of people. So for me to find you, where'd you go? Katie, where are you? You can unmute yourself if you're there. Can't find you. Okay. I don't know where. All right, we're going to move on because I don't know where she is. She's not muted. Okay, Alejandra. Alejandra. I hope she said yes. I probably should have checked that. I don't actually know if she opened the message. All right. Alexis, I did see your face. Sorry, guys. This was very last minute, so I asked a few people very last minute. So, hello.
I was gonna get a couple more people.
Loving the braids.
Yeah, well, tomorrow's Disney World, so
Oh, that's awesome.
you know, with the long drive, I wanted to make sure I was comfortable.
You're so funny. Okay. All right. Hello, Alexis. Okay, you guys. So Alexis is a double diamond, and she is awesome, but I'll let her share her own story.
Yes. So, hold on. I had to set that up. All right. Hi, guys. How are you? Basically, in July, so next month is a year. I still can't believe it's been a year. Like, when
Already?
Yeah. July 10th is when I joined.
That's crazy. It's flown by.
It does. It flies by. Because listen, when I first started, I was 1, terrified. 2, I thought in my brain, I'm not a salesperson. I can't sell. I don't think I can do this. But Christy says I can. So I literally just did what Christy did. But listen, before the business, so you guys know a bit about me. I have 3 kids. My husband was deployed to South Korea. He was gone like 6 months when I decided to join her team. Because when he left, I'm like, babe, by the time you come back, I'm going to have a job. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to be a hot mama for you when you get back. You know, I was so excited. I was so pumped. My sister was getting married that year. So I was like, before, you know, she gets married, I'm going to lose weight. Shoot, you guys should see me in her wedding party. I did not lose weight. I was a hot mess. Okay. I was struggling so much with depression and just struggling with paychecks. And we were on 1 paycheck for 4 years. And after every kid, it got harder and harder and harder. And it was just at the point where I had to do something. And I was looking up these CNA jobs because I was a CNA before. I'm like, I can do this, even though they're 12-hour shifts again and not seeing my kids, trying to find a babysitter. The whole thing was just so freaking overwhelming to me. And I think that's kind of why I didn't lose weight. I didn't do anything. And I was just struggling mentally with everything, struggling. And knowing my husband's going to be home in like 2 months, 3 months it was. He said 3 months left. And I was still nowhere. I literally was nowhere. And Christy did a post one day. I was watching her a couple months. She hadn't reached out to me because, you know, she adds just about everybody. But at this point, she hadn't reached out to me. I've been watching her, though. I was watching her closely every day. Like, look at this beautiful lady, and she's got it all together. Well, she did a post, and this was the post that hooked, line, and sinkered me, okay? It was everyone on my team. I want you to comment below what bonus you just hit this month, right? Y'all, done. I was seeing $30,000 bonuses, $20,000 bonuses, like, you know, 5,000. I'm like, that is freaking insane. Oh my God. I truly remember I was mind blown. And that's when I joined. I reached out to her. Well, actually, I told her I was going to join when I got paid. And then when we got paid, I'm like, oh, I just can't really afford it. And she actually, you know, mentioned, like, listen, people, you know, things happen. They can't afford it. I've actually had people sell stuff. You could try that. Try selling something. And I'm like, you know what? I got a whole bunch of baby crap in the garage. I literally sold a baby swing and baby clothes and had the money by that next weekend and was like, Christy, let's go. And I joined for $99. I was one of the ones who joined at $99 because I didn't know there was like sales for $20 coupons or whatever. I didn't know. I thought it was always just $99. But I joined, and it was also when it was with the Fit 15. That's what it was. They offered the Fit 15 in it. I'm like, oh, perfect. I can start my weight loss. I can start working. And I did. And at the beginning, I was kind of like every other day, still watching Christy, what she was doing, but she kind of motivated me to start doing it every day. And when I got the hang of it, I went Ruby in 6 weeks. I went Emerald in 3 months. My husband came home. I had lost 27 pounds, which wasn't at my goal yet, but I felt like I was hot, you know. I was like, yes, you know, I lost this weight. My husband's finally home, and I just kept pushing. I had a point in time where it was a little hard because with my husband first coming home, doing this new business, it was hard for him to understand it. So that's when he went from supportive because he was away to, I don't know if I like this. You're on your phone all the time. And I remember crying to Christy going, me and my husband never have issues. How do I fix this? And she was there for me. She listened to me cry. She gave me her advice and I took it. Me and him sat down one day, went over the business and what he wants from me, what I want from him to understand. And then once we hashed it out and worked it through, a couple months later, I went diamond and then double diamond the very following month. Okay. In that amount of time, bonus wise, oh my God, I don't even know. I hit the $1,000 ruby. I hit the $5,000 emerald, $10,000 diamond, and $15,000 double diamond. Y'all add that up. But because of all that, I've paid off all of our credit cards. We had 4 of them maxed out, literally maxed out. It was $14,000 in credit card debt. We paid it off. We paid all of it off, and it felt amazing to be debt free for the first time in like, I don't even know, forever. It feels like forever. And I told myself when Christy did that whole chart thing, which mine's right here. And I also have like letters from Christy and my team, some certificates I got. But I've been following this sucker like to a T. And on it, besides paying off credit cards, I did that. I lost the weight. I did the diamond and double diamond. I actually was ahead of the game on double diamond, but the cruise. No, it was going to be a cruise. Okay. Sorry, pregnancy brain. It was going to be a cruise for 5 days. Then I was going to pay for our whole family, but it ended up being Disney World, and we're doing it. We're leaving tomorrow. Disney World. I am born and raised in Florida, you guys, and I have never been to Disney World. I could never afford it. And now I live out of state and I'm affording Disney World. Like, I'm so excited. We're going all out. We got the Lion King suite. It's like 2 bedrooms, a little kitchen area and everything. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy what and how much this business has changed me. And if you can tell, I'm much happier. I'm pregnancy hormonal right now sometimes. I go from like crying to tired. But besides that, I'm so much happier. I feel so much weight is just off my shoulders. Like I can just breathe now, basically. But that is all what the business has done for me.
Well, you're amazing. And you guys just be careful, because when you lose weight and you use the products, you will get pregnant.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Pregnant with number 4 right now. Yeah.
Which wasn't planned. And I just think it's so funny because you guys, like, I'm so serious it happens. Like, there's just something about when you get healthy and lose weight. Like, it's just Eden. Mine, we were like, all right, we're getting pregnant. I'm getting done because I'm trying to use my products again and get skinny again. But basically, like, half the team's pregnant right now. So I seriously, like, don't cut yourself short, because when you started, like, you were hungry. Like, you were like, Christy, what do I do next? What do I, okay, all right, I need help with this. Okay, you were sending me screenshots all the time, and you guys do not be afraid to use the person who enrolled you, but also be self-sufficient. Because she'd be like, okay, what should I say to this? I'm like, okay, this. But then she knew what to do with the next person. And so it was like she was creating herself as a leader while she was using me. And so that's a huge, huge thing, you guys. But Alexis, you have been 100% since day one, and I appreciate you, and you're amazing. And I'm so excited that you guys are at Disney World right now. I'm jealous.
Well, I leave tomorrow. We're
okay. Yeah, because I guess you have your dream board and stuff up, so that was not.
Oh yeah.
You wouldn't be there right now, but yes. And isn't that funny, you guys? Like, she lived there, she couldn't even afford it, and now she is out of
Georgia
state and traveled there. So awesome, so awesome. And you guys, I'm pretty sure every single one of these people, yes, every single one of them will be at Green Carpet. At our event. So if you're there, you get to meet all these lovely ladies, and they are awesome.
Be like,
for real.
6 or 7 months pregnant by then.
I will have just had a baby like a month before, but I am gonna rock it.
We're gonna be there. We're rocking it.
Whatever.
I might cry a couple times, but
I know. Literally at all the events, I'm either pregnant or I just had a baby. So you know what? It's cool. We're done after this, so it's fine. But if you have anything else you want to add, feel free to unmute yourself once I go through the other ladies. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Okay, so let's move on to Jamie. Where's your face? I love Jamie's story. I've posted it about 1,000 times, like every time we hang out. Where's your face? I can't see it. I hear you, but I cannot see you.
I don't know.
Ooh, I know. It's funny because I ask. I'm like, where are you? I'm on the 3rd page, bottom left.
Yeah, like I can tell you.
Yeah. Oh, there you are. Wow, it puts you right there. Okay, perfect. So I love Jamie's story because it's not like everybody else's, and she was baller, shot caller, money before. So, you know, that's huge that you guys don't ever prejudge anyone. So I think that's basically what I get from her story. Do not prejudge someone if it looks like they have all the money in the world. So I will just shut up and you can go, Jamie.
Okay. So Christy kind of alluded that I made a lot of money before I got into this, and I did. I'm a CRNA. If you don't know what that is, it's a nurse anesthetist. I do anesthesia, put people to sleep. And so I alone, without my husband's income, was making almost $200,000 a year by myself. And so, you know, don't ever judge who's going to want this, or they already have an amazing life. They're traveling, they're doing fun, they're going out. Like, they don't need this. Like, I needed it because I wanted more time in my life. I was a super grumpy mom. I had mega mom guilt. I just felt horrible. And I remember
you know, I had seen Christy's posts, but I wasn't really looking for anything, you know, and she had friended me and I thought, I'm not really active on social media. I don't know who this girl is, but I mean, I knew who she was. Like, I'd seen her at church, but we weren't really friends. So I was like, well, whatever. I don't want to be rude, you know, so I accepted her request and then I start seeing her posts and I'm like, dang, this girl posts a lot. And it got to the point where I was like, should I unfollow her or unfriend her? Cause you know, like she posts a lot. It's kind of annoying, but I didn't want to be rude, you know? And so eventually I was like, hey girl, I want to know about your hair vitamins. So if you feel like you're being annoying, who cares? You know what I mean? Like people are they're gonna come around. Like they might feel, you know, like a little annoyed at first and then they're intrigued and then they're like, tell me what you're doing. Tell me what you're using. Like I want some of it. And that's exactly how I was. And so I used the hair vitamins for 1 month and I didn't really consider the business, you know, I knew I had an awesome income. And I just thought that's what you do. Like you go to work and, you know, you have, you know, bills to pay. And so you go. And so then I started paying a little bit more attention to her posts because I saw she went triple diamond. So this is way back then. I started about 4 years ago. And I saw she went triple diamond and she earned a $50,000 bonus. And I was like, whoa, hold up. Like $50,000 is a lot of money. Like that could totally help me stay home. I knew I wanted to stay home, but I didn't know how it was going to happen. Like I had this awesome job and I was like, how would I ever do anything that's going to supplement my income and allow me to be home? And so I saw that $50,000 and I was like, what? And so I messaged her and I'm like, hey, I think I want to join your team. And I asked her a butt ton of questions. You know, I probably drove her nuts, but I wanted to know all kinds of stuff. And she, you know, very kindly answered all of them. She didn't seem annoyed or anything. And I was like, hey, let's do it. You know, and so I got started and I went, so I didn't say part of that, like part of me being like all that mom guilt and major grumpy, it was April and I knew summertime was coming and I was going to be a beast. Every time summer came, I felt this horrible guilt that my kids were home alone. They were supposed to be having a fun summer, you know, and so if you see working moms, like they might have that too. Summertime is so hard because you know your kids are home and they're supposed to be having a fun summer, but they're holed up in a house, like with no parents home. And so that was me. And so I was like, it was April. I was like, come on, let's do this. And so at the time, you know, there was a Ruby bonus, $1,000 Ruby bonus. And so I went Ruby in 2 months and I got that. And then I got a little bit comfortable. It wasn't even comfortable. It was more uncomfortable. And so I was like, well, it's a couple $100. It's great. And I thought I was doing what I needed to do by doing my posts and stuff, but I wasn't messaging. I wasn't doing that. I was very uncomfortable with messaging. And I was pretty uncomfortable with telling my story and telling my goals and what I really wanted, which was to stay home, because I was like, there's people on my social media that I work with. There's people, you know, that it could relay back to my bosses that I don't want my job. Like, what's everyone going to think? And so, you know, I went through like a year and a half of that. Like I only hit Emerald for the first year and a half. And, you know, like Emerald, it's like $500-$600 a month. I didn't have any bonuses on it. And so $500 to $600 a month for me was not very much money. Like if I hadn't had an end goal in sight of what I really wanted, I would have quit, because when I did one call shift overnight, it was $1,400. And I did 1 or 2 of those every week. I was working like 54 to 68 hours a week, which was ridiculous. I didn't want to work that much. And so you know, if I would have thought, well, you know, I work all month for this and I make $500 or $600, I might as well just keep my call shifts and make $1,400. That's like a worker mindset. You know, that's a 9-to-5er mindset. It wasn't an entrepreneur mindset, which I had, and I knew it. I just wasn't putting the actions together with the mindset. And so once I did that, it was January of 2017, I believe. Yeah, because it was almost 2 years. And I just decided, I was like, look, I'm going to go to conference. I'm going to make this happen. I was paid as a Ruby in January of 2017. My check was like $300 or something, which was dumb. But I was like, hey, I'm going to do this. And so I stopped worrying about what everyone thought. I went part-time at my job. I didn't have the income, you know, to support that. It was $300. And I'm not saying everyone should do that, but you know, like Savannah had said, it wasn't so much about the money as it was what the business could give me. And that was time at home. And so I was like, I'm just going to take a leap of faith and I'm going to go part-time and I'll make it happen. And so in March, I went diamond. And then in April, I went double diamond. And when I saw that double diamond check, let me tell you guys, you got to get there because I was like, wow, this is life-changing money. Like, this is legit. You know, I could really make a lot of money doing this. Like, that's when it really had a turn for me. And yeah, there's totally something about that double check where you're like, whoa, I'm a lifer. So, you know, I saw that check and I was like, I can really do this. Like, I can really supplement this income. And so I went for it. And then 4 months later, I went triple. And 1 year later, I went presidential. And now I'm working towards ambassador. But it's really just a mindset shift and putting the action with it. When I stopped caring about what my bosses were going to think, you know, and I went part-time and they knew I didn't want to work, I was like, I'm free to post how I want. I'm just going to talk about it. And I did. I talked about it a lot and wanting to stay home. And then as, you know, people saw me doing it, they started asking more. They're like, dude, how are you staying home? Like, how are you? And I didn't have the income to support it for a while, like I said. But what it was going to give me was way more important. And so I sacrificed that. You know, I was like, if I'm not at work so much, I can put more time into this. And it's been the best decision ever. Now I used to work 54 to 68 hours a week, you know, holidays, weekends, call shifts overnight. And now I work 3 days a month, sometimes 2. So like this month I'm working 2, and next month we're traveling a lot. So I'm working 2, to mainly like maintain my license, but it's been amazing. Don't ever prejudge because people need this business for countless reasons. And I really do feel like it kind of saved me a little bit because I've changed so much personally, as far as having a more positive outlook and being more patient. I was so miserable working those many hours, but I liked the lifestyle and that, you know, what it was giving my family. And so I kept it up. But then, you know, once I knew better, I was like, okay, let's do this.
I love that, you guys. And it's so big, like, not to count people out, because sometimes I have seen that I don't want to say go after, but we focus on the people that we think might be a little bit easier to sign because they need it so bad, or maybe they don't have a huge social media or this or that, whatever. But sometimes people are where they're at because they don't care. They're fine with being where they're at. And sometimes it's the people that have the degrees, it's the people that are making the great money that will be the most motivated people to get it done, if that makes sense. It's not, of course, always the case, but I'm just saying, like, do not prejudge anybody, you guys. And now Jamie wants to be my friend and she sees all my posts, so it's fine.
Now I love all your posts.
And now she's in my posts. Well, it's so funny, you guys, like, sometimes in the beginning, and I know we all have to go through it to push through it. We're like, what are they going to think? What are they going to think? But as soon as you like are in this space where you have these people like Savannah or like Jamie or whatever, and they're like, oh, I totally thought you were annoying. And then now they're like your boss babes on your team. You don't care. Like I do not care. I'm going to post all day, every day if I want to, you know, like, I just don't care. I'm going to message you. I do not care because you just don't know. And sometimes it's the most apprehensive person that is going to change their mind. Like it really is. So,
well, I think it actually was good for me because it helps me reflect back. You know, I'm like, I'm that person that was annoyed. So, you know, even if they're annoyed right now or they're telling me no right now, it doesn't mean no forever. And no one's paying me to stay off of social media or only post things they want to see. They're not allowing me to be home with my kids. So I'm going to post whatever the heck I want, you know, and if they're that annoyed, like, I would rather them leave than me waste my time thinking they're a potential when they're really not. So I'm, you know, it's okay with me now.
That's actually a good point. Didn't even think about that. I only got 5,000 Facebook friend allowance. That's it. That's all I have. So if you can leave, it's fine. And just like what she said, you guys, it's like a 3-step process. Like, oh, this girl's kind of annoying. Oh, what is she doing? I'm a little intrigued. And then it's like, all right, just freaking tell me. Like, people will message me too. They're like, okay, you got me. Just tell me, what do you do? And I'm like, I've never even liked or commented or conversed or anything on their page. And they're like, okay, fine, you got me. And I'm like, okay. So it's super funny that way. But do you have anything else you want to add?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, cool. All right, awesome. And I was trying to be her neighbor, but not.
Yeah, I'm still hoping for it. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, they have a house down the street that we wanted. We were in escrow, and I was going to be her neighbor, and it just fell through. But
we were going to have massive block parties. It was going to be epic.
We were massive It Works block parties and just kick everyone else out. That'd be so much fun. Okay, it's fine, guys. I'm still working on it. I'm working hard to get the house, to get the backyard, so I can have massive It Works house parties. Okay, all right, awesome. We will go on to Brianna. Where's your face? You can. Oh, there, I see you.
Hi.
Hello. Okay. So I'm going to let her share her own story, but Brianna is a new diamond, and she has just been a little ball of sunshine ever since she started, which I love. Like, I just love talking to her. Like, I know I'm never going to get anything negative. She's always like, either everything's great or help me with the solution. And I'm like, girl, you got my attention. Like, I will message you back right away. But it's just that energy. Like, she's one of those people where when other people are telling me, like, I just don't feel motivated, I'm like, just go sign up some new distributors. And when they have that excitement and fire, you will feel it. And she was one of those people. I was like, she's ready. Let's go. Let's do this. Like, she was just hungry. So Brianna, you may share your story.
Okay. I'm a little nervous. So I don't know. I think Christy added me on Instagram or Facebook like over a year ago, and I would like her posts and stuff. And I think she messaged me about a product, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I want to try it. And she's like, well, I'll send you some samples, but think about joining the business, because I didn't have the money to buy the product. And so I was like, oh, okay, not that kind of person that can just sell things. So I just kind of like watched her for a while, and I think I had just had my daughter. Maybe she was like 6 or 7 months old, and so I didn't have a job anymore. I was a nanny before I had her, and so like we lost that income, and we just went down to one paycheck, me and my husband, and so it was hard. And I knew that if we did daycare, I would be pretty much going to work to pay for daycare, so it just didn't like add up to us. So it just got really, really hard. We just lived on one paycheck, and my husband's dad does pools. He owns his own company, and so he started working with him to kind of get that extra money, because it just wasn't working, you know, with just his paycheck, and I could not find a job, and I didn't have confidence in myself to have a job. Like, I just didn't think that I could do anything. I think I just thought I just wasn't like capable. I don't know. So I had my second daughter, Olivia, and things just even got harder financially. And it was like we were constantly borrowing money. My husband has a good job; he gets paid pretty good, and still doing pools, and so he's making an extra $400 or $500 a month with that. And I was just like, man, I can't do this anymore. I have to get a job. And there's nothing. Everything was minimum wage, so really we're still gonna pay like $800-900 for daycare, and
hope I don't lose a job. And then who's going to watch the kids if something happens? And it just wasn't happening. And Christy followed up with me a few times with, hey, what do you think about joining the business? And then I would ask her about products. And then I was finally like, I'm just going to unfollow her because her lifestyle is amazing, but I can't. I'm like getting jealous of her. So I started doing this other business, and it was like free to join. And I was like, well, I'll do this. And I think I did it for like 2 weeks, and Christy messaged me and she was like, I can't believe after all this time you joined someone else's company. And I was like, well, honestly, I joined this other company so I can get the money to join this business because it's been on my mind for so long. Sorry, I'm shaky. So yeah, she said it in a nice way. But so then she was like, well, it's only $20 to sign up. And I was in February, and I was like, $20? Okay, I'll have that money on Friday. And so it was like Friday, I ran to the bank, put the money in, I texted her, and I was like, okay, I'm ready, let's do this. And I did. I didn't ask any questions. I didn't ask, like, I didn't know there was any bonuses or promotions. I didn't know that you can make $30,000, $50,000, $60,000 eventually once you got to that point. I didn't know you had to add people to your team. I didn't know anything. I was just like, I just want to make money from home. I want to be able to like pay our car payment because that's what was the biggest bill that we had, and we have debt. And so I joined obviously in February, and my first paycheck I was like, okay, I paid back what I paid to join, and then a little bit extra, and then the second month I was like, I'm okay, what is this? I see on the cover picture of our team page was groovy bonus, $1,000, $3,000 guarantee for the Emerald. I was like, I'm gonna get that. And so I went Emerald in my first 2 months, and then I was like, okay, no, I don't want to just stay Emerald, I want to go Diamond. So then I went Diamond, and now I'm like, okay, I want to go double. And I just started for $500 a month. I didn't think that it was possible to make anything else, and I watched Christy's video how to make a lot of money, and I think that's what it was. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So since like with this Diamond check, we had said if I went Diamond, we were gonna go to Universal Studios because my check would pay off what we owed from our PG&E. It was a lot. And then if my check would pay for our full trip to Universal Studios, we would go. So I got my Diamond check, and I was standing in the middle of Walmart. I just started crying. I opened it up, and I seen that number, and I just didn't think that I was like capable of making that much money. I just didn't think it was possible for me. I don't know. I see it like all the girls making all kinds of money, and I'm like, I'm just not gonna be able to do that. It's just not for me. My mind, I don't know. I just didn't think positive about it. But then I started doing the personal development, and I have amazing people on my team, and we made it happen. So we paid off all of the PG&E that we owe. So now we only owe our monthly bill. And now we're working on paying off our car payment and bigger payments. And we went to Universal Studios, like all expense paid with my check. So I don't know. It's a blessing to us because, like I said, we just had the one paycheck, and then my husband did the pools on the side. So he was able to tell his dad last week that he doesn't need to do the pools anymore because now I make way more than what he would make doing pools. And now our next goal is for me to go triple diamond, and he's going to start his own company. So yeah, it's just been a blessing, and I'm super grateful for this business. I think that's it.
You're the cutest. And you guys, like half of these girls, well, not half, just you. It'll be your first time on here. So, but it's so funny because if I ever have a potential that starts another company, I unfollow them. I usually don't unfriend them, but I usually unfollow them, and I don't message them. I'm like, whatever, she chose wrong. That's basically what I think. But I was like, you know what? This girl did not. She did not just do that. And I was like, I freaking know she's going to do good in whatever she does. Like, she had all these cute little family pictures of her cute little daughters. And I was like, I was like, I'm gonna message her. And I was like, you really sign up with another. I was nice about it, but I was like, you really did? Like, really? And she's like, oh, just so I could make the money for this. And I totally thought she was just like trying to like, you know, one foot in, like, don't be mad at me kind of thing. But I was like, okay, fine then. Like, you said it, I'm coming back. But you have been honestly just so awesome. And so it's so funny because you say like you had like a huge lack of confidence, but through personal development, it's grown. But honestly, when we talk, I see nothing but confidence. You're like, okay, yes. And I'm like, I have these people ready and this person ready. And like that kind of, you guys, that kind of mentality and that kind of mood and focus, that is what makes you grow. When you are just focused on the good things, you're going to have some people tell you no, you're going to have some people quit. But like when you're just focused on the good, you're just going to get more of it. That's just how it works. That's how life works. That's how your business works. That's how everything works. And so you're just freaking awesome. And I can't wait for you to go double and triple. And it's so crazy because in, you know, February, you could barely afford to start for $20. And here you are planning with your husband to now let him or help him or afford that for him to start his own, you know, company. I don't know what his job is, but for what he wants to do with his business. Like that is like a 6-month period of time, you guys. It is just crazy amazing what this business will do for you when you just put your head down and work for it. But you're awesome and you're amazing. And I can't wait for you to go double. And yes, she like Voxered me or voice messaged me and she's like crying. She's like, I'm in Walmart and I just opened up my paycheck and I'm crying. And I'm like, this is what it's about. Like, that is the best feeling in the world. I'm like, you cry, girl, you cry. And it was just like the best feeling ever. Like, we have a little group message too. And when Alexis had her first double check, she's like, oh my gosh. Like, it's just so awesome. Okay, so let me see here. Let me see. Who do I see? I see, okay, I see Whitney's face. Where'd your face go? It just moved. You can unmute yourself and then I can.
Hi.
Oh, there you are.
Hello. Did you find me?
I found you. Okay. Whitney's been another ball of sunshine since she started. She never says anything negative. So I'm like, we could be friends. We can hang out. You want to go to lunch? Like, okay. So she literally just got home from the airport and she was like, I will be home by 6:30. I can be on by 7. Like, I got this. And I'm like, you're amazing. So I will go ahead and let you share your story.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I feel like I look busted, but I just got off a plane that was delayed and it was crazy. So, excuse me. But anyway, so I'm going to go back to September before I joined the business. I joined the business November 26th. So I'm going to go jump back to September. In September, I was offered a promotion at my job and it was like a huge friggin' promotion, you guys. Like, it was one of those things where I almost cried because I was so excited. But then as like I was talking to my boss and my managers and stuff, they were telling me like, oh yeah, you're gonna, you know, this is your required time to be here. And then you're gonna do the open houses and you're gonna do this and you're gonna do that. And I was like, I'm never gonna be home and I'm a teacher. And well, I was a teacher. And I was like, I'm not gonna have the breaks that I want. You know, my husband's a teacher and I want that time. Like, and at the time I was 25, 26 now. And I was like, we gotta start having kids at some point. And I was really stressed. So, I mean, I was kind of stressed about my whole timeline for a while, but then in September when I got that promotion and then October, we were talking about it and stuff. I was talking to one of my really good friends at work and she's like, this is amazing. This is amazing. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to have kids. Like, I don't know, because I'm going to have to be at home with my kids. Like, we just went on a cruise and I was so stressed about people watching my dog, you know? And so there's no way that I could have had someone watch my kids, you know, while I was at home being a preschool director. So I was like, okay, I need to figure something out. Like, I was literally looking online for like work from home jobs and blah, blah, blah.
Where are you going?
What?
Where are you going?
My dogs were attacking me.
I can't focus. Where's she going?
I'm still now. I'm in my office.
They were so happy to see me. I didn't want to leave them, but then they were being annoying. So you gotta do what you gotta do. Are you good now? Am I good? Hello?
I muted myself. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Okay.
Your dogs sound like my kids.
They're my children for now. But anyway, so I was like looking at like work from home jobs and all this stuff, and I was like, well, they don't pay anywhere near the director job. So how could I turn this down and do it? Like, there's nothing, I really thought there was no in between, like making good money and being able to work from home one day. And I was like stressed. And I remember like seeing people like talking about it works. And back like in 2013, I was a customer for someone who was really like, this was way back in the day, but she posted like a gazillion times. And my husband was like, you can never do this business because she's so annoying and stuff like that. She's no longer in the company, so don't worry. She like quit very soon afterwards. But so I even saw that and I was like, I can never do one of those things. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. And then so skip to November. I was sitting at my in-laws' house and talking to my sisters-in-laws, and like, I don't really want kids at this moment, but I remember feeling so envious of them because they were able to stay home with their kids. Their husbands had great jobs. I love that Tyler's a teacher. I love that he chose that. It's a perfect job for him, and I love that we get to spend time together, but he doesn't make, triple diamond money, you know what I'm saying? And so I was just like so envious of my sister-in-laws because they were talking about how like, oh, we have Sunday dinner. So the next day was Monday and they were preparing for Thanksgiving and all this stuff. And I was just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I was in distress. And I followed Christy, I think, because I feel like if she would have followed me, I'd been like, who is this? Because I had like 300 followers, And so the first story I know I saw of hers, like maybe I saw ones before, maybe I saw her post, but I didn't like recognize her. And so I was sitting there after dinner, just on Instagram stories, feeling a little miserable, dreading Monday, and it was like, she posted pictures, like, one of the stories talks about the business, and she's like, we get to stay home with our kids and send our kids to private school. And I was like, well, I want my kids one day to go to private school. I work at a private school, but I don't want to work at the private school while they're young so they can go. Like, I was stressed. And I was like, I want that. And she's like, and we get to travel. And I was like, I want that. And she was like, and I get to have like these friends. And I was like, I freaking want that. And so I messaged her like, I'm interested, which I've never ever reached out to anyone on social media, about like anything. Like, I felt weird about commenting on my friends' pages because I was like, they're probably thinking that I'm creepy and like, I don't know, whatever. So I was like, I'm interested. And she messaged me and she like sent me my first voice message ever. So I was like, I don't know what to do with this. And I like walked into the bathroom at my in-laws' house and like put it up to my ear and I was like, okay, like I thought I was like techno savvy, but I learned that I was not, Anyway, so she told me about it, and then it was Thanksgiving, and I really wanted to see what she was doing. And I was like, she does it works, doesn't she? She does it works. No one wants it works. I literally thought that like, because I did it back in 2013, that everybody did it back in 2013 and no one wants it now. Like, I literally thought that. But there's so many people today that will be like, what's it works? I never heard of that. Like, there's probably more people that never heard of it than have. And I was in this mindset that like, everyone's done it. Everyone's wrapped. Everyone's used hair, skin, and nails. But that's not the truth, as we all know. So then Thanksgiving happened and we were about to move. We had to move. We were staying at one of my mom's rentals and we had to be out. And we were like so strapped for cash. Like, we borrowed move-in money from my mom so we can move in, and like, because rentals are super expensive, you have to put all down that money. So I was like, I just have to do this. And my husband was like, are you sure? He's very supportive, but he was like, okay. And I was like, okay. And then I reached out to her and she's like, okay, get 4 customers. And I got 6 because I was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm not going to like one foot in, one foot out, because if I say that I'm doing this, like, I'm freaking doing it, because I was nervous. Like, I thought, what do people think, blah, blah. But I didn't want to be like, what will people think if I quit? So quitting was off the table from day one, because I was like, I'm not saying I'm starting this new journey and 2 days later being like, I'm not doing it anymore. Like, I have my massage license and I don't massage. So I was like, this is not going to be massage therapy. Like, I'm going to do it. And I'm so glad I did. So that was very end of November. And then like exactly 1 month after I joined the business, my father-in-law went into ICU, and that's just kind of backstory. And so December was my first like actual full month. The other day was like 3 days or something like that. And it was $20 at the time. So the paycheck that I got in December was like $20 because I got those like 6 customers, you know, or maybe I got a few customers in the first few days, whatever. And that's what I got paid for. And I was like, okay, well, I already have made back what my investment to get in, so we're good. But again, can't quit. No. And also in December, I texted like a group that I was in and said like, I just want to dye my hair purple and quit my job. Okay. I mean, it's a little washed out because of the ocean water, but I was casting a vision I didn't even think was real. But so yeah, that was December. December was my first full month. On the 9th of January, I saw how much I'd be making, and it was like a couple hundred, and I was stoked. I was like, this is legit. This is actually working. Are you kidding me? Like, maybe I can one day stay home with my kids in like 3 years. I don't even have kids yet, but I was stressed. And then, so that was the 9th. On the 12th, that's my birthday. January 12th is my birthday. I woke up and I couldn't open my mouth bigger than this. Like, no joke, I couldn't get like a fork with food in to my mouth because apparently my wisdom teeth had enough and they slammed into my jaw and I couldn't open it. So I knew that I was making a couple hundred. I knew that I was going to have 2 fast starts by that Thursday, and our payday was going to be that Thursday or Friday. No, Thursday, because that was the 15th. And I was like, oh my gosh. I went to the doctors on Monday. My birthday was on Saturday. I went to the doctors on Monday. They're like, you need your wisdom teeth out. Our next appointment is Thursday and you need them out that day. And they like ran all my information. They're like, you're going to need to pay only $500 out of pocket, only $500. Like, we had just moved in the beginning of December and we were like struggling, you know, we were paying our bills and everything, but everything was like to the dollar bill. You know what I'm saying? And so he's like, you need to pay $500 on Thursday. And we weren't getting paid until like the 25th. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, this isn't where I wanted my It Works money to go to, but if all my It Works money goes to this, I only have to pay $75 out of pocket. You guys, like, I was in a place where I would have been like, I'm sorry, I can't like open my mouth until the 25th, you know, but I could because of It Works. And like, that legit almost made me cry, and I'm not a crybaby, you know what I'm saying? So that was January. And then in January, my husband's school went on lockdown, and it was like super scary for me. They thought there was an active shooter on campus, but it was just like a fugitive who got out in the neighborhood. He was armed or whatever, but the school didn't know. So they called it like a hard lockdown. They were on the floor, lights off. I got like the text and everything, and it was so scary. And I was like, that's it. I knew I wasn't going to quit. Quitting was off the table from day one. But now, like, not succeeding is off the table. Like, I'm going to be successful. I'm going to retire him home because, like, I'm not getting this text message again, ever, you know? So that was January. I went Ruby in January. And then in March, I skipped Emerald, went Diamond. And then in May, my father-in-law got he was in the hospital from December until he died. So from December until May, he was like doing okay. Physical therapists were coming in. He had a bunch of surgeries, but he was like on the mends. And then one day, so I had got, you know, this would be my second month getting a Diamond check. On a Tuesday, we got a call like, hey, someone needs to be here because he's signing a DNR and he needs someone here. And like, no one could get in there in time. And I was the closest, and I was able to like take off time and like not worry about my job. Like, my job was really cool. My boss was really cool. But like, I couldn't just miss hours in the past. Like, those hours were budgeted. You know what I'm saying? I keep saying, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that guy from Where the Millers, you know, he's like, you know what I mean? And they're like, yeah, we speak English. Sorry, I keep saying that. Anyway, so I forgot what his name. Oh, yeah, and then he passed away on the Thursday, and it was like the worst experience of my entire life. Like, no regrets. Not even one letter, but anyway, I cope with humor. So, he passed away on the Thursday. I was able to leave because we got a call that said, like, he has maybe an hour or whatever, like maybe a few hours. And so, like, I was able to leave work, not worry about finances. I mean, obviously I would have left work anyway, but there would have been that, like, in the back of my head, like, okay, that's 2 hours, it's $200. That's, you know, like, I would have been calculating, not $200, like 2 days, like $200 basically. I'd have been calculating that in my head, dealing with that. Like, nothing prepares you for losing someone who's close to you, and then, like, having your husband lose his father. Like, nothing prepares you for that. But I was able to take off the Thursday and the Friday, and planning funerals is literally the worst thing in the world. But I was able to take off all of that time, be with my mother-in-law, help her out, and never have to worry about finances, because I was like, I have a diamond check. This isn't where I want my It Works money to go. You know, like, we're on the road to debt free. Like, that's our goal, like, this year, debt free. It's not where I wanted the money to go, but, like, it was there. And so I didn't have to worry about money, didn't have to worry about finances, and deal with, like, something that's horrible, because you know what, life's going to happen. This business makes the things that you're going to have to go through anyway easier. And so, like, I'm diamond right now. It's the biggest blessing. I'm going double. So, like, when more things arise, like, yes, I can work towards my goals, but I'm prepared for life. Like, I'm prepared for life when life happens. So from being in September, or, well, I joined in November. So being from November, being like, we're kind of living, like, we weren't totally paycheck to paycheck, but, like, moving out made us that way. Like, and having to put all the deposits down and everything like that. And then, like, wisdom teeth, I actually had an allergic reaction to the antibiotics. So I had to miss, like, 3 days of work because I was, like, dying. I didn't notice. I didn't know that's what it was. I was like, oh, this is just what happens. No. If you break out in hives and can't breathe and your stomach hurts every day, you're dying a little bit. So don't do that. But so I had to miss, like, 3 days of work. And again, like, I was in the beginning. I wasn't even Ruby yet when this was happening, but I was like, okay, I can get 100 from this. I just have to fast start 2 more girls, and I'll make up the 2 days that I missed here. I just have to fast start. Like, it was so, like, strategical. No, strategic. I'm a teacher. That's bad. But it was able to get me, like, through the hard, sucky parts of life. And I'm always looking for the good. Like, I'm always looking, like, debt free. We paid off our RC Willie, because when we moved into our house, we had 0 furniture because we were staying at, like, my mom's rental, you know, and it was furnished. So, paid off RC Willie. We paid off, like, everything that we had borrowed, and now we're, like, working towards school loans. It's just, like, it's amazing. But it also helps you in the sucky moments, because unfortunately, like, that's life. It's gonna happen. So that's my story.
You're awesome, Whitney, and thank you so much for, like, running home and doing this immediately after. And you don't look busted at all. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
You guys, like, that is something where, you know, people will, there's 2 types of mindsets. And the one mindset says, I'm going through something, I can't do this. And the other mindset says, I'm going through something, I need to do this so that I can focus on that thing and moving past it, and I don't have to worry about money. Like, how sad is it that people have family members in the hospital that they can't be with because they have to pay their bills? Like, but that's just life.
That would have been me for sure.
Yeah. What? Say that again.
Like, that would have been me when my father-in-law died. That would have been me 100%.
Yeah, and then you
wouldn't
feel
have been able to pay
guilty.
bills.
And then you feel guilty because you're like, I'm thinking about money at a time that I should be thinking about family, but also, like, I can't, you know, not pay my mortgage because of what's going on in my life. And so that's just where it comes into place, you guys. Like, excuses or make it happen. Like, you have 2 choices, and that's it. Like, you don't get another choice. Like, life is going to happen. It just is. And I love how she explained, like, this, we have these goals for our money, but they had to go somewhere else. But if she had not had those goals and prepared that income already, she wouldn't have had it as an option. And so you guys, like, man, it's just crazy. Like, every single person I talk to, I think about, like, yeah, you might be going through something. You need this. You need this more than anyone else. or you might not be going through anything, but you might want to see your kids more. Like I want you guys to look at your charts or every single potential that you message and really like think like, this is going to change your life. And people always ask me like, you're so good at sealing the deal. What should I say? And I'm like, just talk to them. And, you know, sometimes I don't realize what that actually has meant until thinking about it like this. When I say just talk to them, that means like, be a real freaking person. Hey, Whitney, like, I know you can't afford this business, like, which means you need it. You know, go sell something. Like, this is going to change your life. Like, people need to be convinced because they're so scared to do something new or invest a $99. Like, so I have to be the person that does convince them that this will change their life. And it's genuine because I've seen it. Like, I've seen it all around me. So I'm like, you literally like need this. And, you know, every time I say that and I talk to them, yeah, it might take 6 months, but I'm not waiting around for anybody, but I also know that every single person I talk to, they're going to start when they're ready. Like, they're going to start when they're ready, and that's going to be the time that they're going to run. And so like, don't just don't count anyone out, and don't be afraid to be consistent, and don't be afraid to put your goals out there, because just like how, you know, some of these girls like have signed just because people put out their goals. That's it. It wasn't even that they hit it. But if you guys look at everyone's story, everyone saw so far, technically I signed all the girls, but so far, and we'll have Alejandra go next, which I did not sign. So there's that. But every single person started their story with, I watched her. I was consistent. Me, Christy. I was consistent no matter what. So if you're like half inning, half outing, if I go to your Instagram stories and it's like you throw up a product post, there's nothing personal before it, there's nothing personal after it, you're a freaking robot, like, yeah, you're gonna have to be a copycat for a little while. You're gonna have to see what we're doing, you know, use some of the posts we do, use some of the stories we do, but like, what the heck do you want? Like, you need to start putting that out there. Like, you need to start sharing your story. Like, some of these girls, even I'm about to message them after this and be like, I didn't know that. You need to be talking about that, because there's going to be something and someone out there that's going to connect with it. And so you guys, like, just the faster that you can be open and honest, and just like how Jamie said, I remember it's funny because she shared this about her story too. Her girl, Janae, who's a triple diamond on the team, she started because she saw Jamie post about paying for her groceries. Jamie had a multiple 6-figure income. She felt very silly. But when, you know, I say, or someone who's done what you want says, hey, some people are just going to connect with paying for their groceries. Some people are going to connect with the simple things. And she finally just did. That is what Janae came from. Janae said, I can't even fill up my fridge for my kids. And she saw Jamie's post that literally talked about paying for her groceries. So like, you have to just be open as soon as possible. That's just what it is. The sooner you're open, the faster your business will grow. If you're just copying and pasting everything, you're just an ad. You're just an ad. Like, be you. Like, what the heck do you want? You know, like, what the freak do you want? And just blow it up there. But anyways, okay. So Alejandra, I saw you commenting. I didn't see you earlier, but I saw you commenting. So now I got you. Where'd you go? Alejandra, did you see the group message that I put you in where I asked you? I don't know if she actually saw it because I didn't see her respond in it. But I just saw her comment, so she better still be here. Where are you? Somebody find her. Because she's got a great story, and she's so awesome, and I love it. Let's see here. I'm going to give it one more second, or you're going to miss out. All right. I don't know where she is. Okay. So I get everyone. Okay. So Katie, are you here? Okay. I don't think so. All right. Yeah. I asked everybody pretty last minute, so I'm not going to have, call you out, but if I sang your name, I guess I did. So, you guys, like I said before, I just really want to do this so that you guys can treat everyone on your potential list as a real person. Treat everyone on your chart as a real person. There's people who I don't know if they're going to do anything. And then there's other people who, yeah, Mikkel, like you don't know. You don't know, but the only thing you can control is being genuine and doing the work, which I love that Jamie mentioned that. She said, I was posting, but that's not the work. You guys, posting consistently every single day is necessary. It is part of this business. If you don't do it, bye. Like, sorry, it just is. And when never mind. I won't even go there. If I have to reach out to you and tell you, like, where did you post? And you're over here trying to go Ruby, like, what? Like, what? That doesn't even add up together. You don't get to make no $400 a month and not even, like, tell people you're in a business. But anyways, so posting is so necessary. That is your doors open. If you're going to do this business offline, okay, go do it offline, but you better be hustling every single day. But the real work is the messaging, the adding, the interacting, and post, message, add, interact, and the follow-up. I have it like in my head. Those are the real work, okay? Those are the real tasks of working this business. And another thing that isn't in necessarily income-producing activity, but it's also necessary, is the personal development. And these types of things, this is where it comes into place. It is the personal development. Why can I talk to somebody? And truthfully, I could pick anyone and convince them to sign up for the business. Like, I could truthfully convince anyone because of what I've learned through reading and doing personal development. But people have to make their own choices, or they'll just sign up and do nothing. So I want you guys to just really be genuine. And if you're brand new here and this is your first training, you're probably like, what is this? But every single Monday we do a different team training, and you guys have all the tools. Every single person here, when they just made the decision to work the business consistently and hard, that is when they grew their business. You guys have all the tools, but you have to be genuine. Like, you have to. You have to know that you're bringing value with the business and you're bringing value with the products. And so you need to be using them, and you need to be talking about using them, because there is a huge value of products. And I love how Alexis mentioned that too. She's like, he came home and I was 27 pounds lighter and 2,000 a month richer. Like, or maybe she was already double by then. But like, the business and the products change people's lives. They have to go together. You can't do one and not the other. You can't be trying to be no ambassador diamond without using the products and showing yourself using them. Okay. But who is excited that we just opened up in Mexico today? We are so excited, you guys. I just want to mention one little thing about that.